everybody, and welcome to part 5 of episode 25 of Top Rope Reality. This is our final thoughts, and this final thought will be WWE won the war, but lost their passion.
Yes, we have been talking about this for weeks, and then I threw this name out there, and we said, you know what, that's a good idea.
It's a good one. It is true.
And I want to start out by saying, think back to a period, okay? A period of about 97 to 2000. Think back to that period. There was so much competition on TV, and if you get the network for just $9.99, you'll be able to see the Monday Night War where they show the ratings going up and down between the two companies. There was a legitimate war going on. Even Triple H and Gerald Briscoe said it was not just for our jobs, it was our livelihood that was on the line. Okay? Think back to that period of time, how great wrestling was. Yes, and I know there was a lot of scandalous stuff going on. It was like the Jerry Springer show, and it was all this stuff. And no, I'm not saying they have to do that nowadays, but I will say this. They have legitimately lost their passion for trying to win. They think, like you said, they feel like they have won because WCW and ECW are gone, and number two, they're the number one show
program
on USA Network.
Yes.
They're just competing with the other shows on the USA Network, but they're not. They don't look at, let's say, American Ninja Warrior. They don't look at NFL. They don't look at what's the other stuff going on? NASCAR. They don't even look at that. They don't look at any sporting event. UFC. They don't worry about any of that stuff because they don't feel that that's competition. Well, to me, all of it is, in my opinion, sports entertainment.
Right.
Because if you're entertained by UFC, you're entertained by NASCAR, you're entertained by football, you're entertained by American Ninja Warrior, but all of them are considered a sport. So it's still sports entertainment.
Yeah.
But he feels like he's the only fish in. But there's other fish in the pond, but he's the big fish in the pond.
He is the whale
and
in a pond full of guppies.
Right.
Because TNA tried it, but they turned tail and run.
Right. They should have never went to Monday nights. They should have never done that. They weren't ready just because they thought they had Hulk Hogan. They were not ready for that. Clearly, it's amazing how many big stars you can get on TNA and nobody cares, but when those big stars come back to WWE, they love it.
What TNA should have done when they went up against Raw, don't take WCW's plan.
Yeah.
Take what Vince did when he was getting his butt kicked by WCW.
Yep.
And make it work.
The winning formula was the Attitude Era. The winning formula is not, let me take all the old guys from the company that is competing with me.
That's what WCW did. Oh, that's what worked. They beat Vince because they had Hogan and Nash and Savage and Bobby Heenan and
They beat them for these amount of weeks, but they didn't win the war. But the thing is that upsets me the most is that WWE winning the war, they should have never lost their passion. In my opinion, they should have worked very hard, like you had said before. They should have made SmackDown into WCW Nitro and put it on Thursdays or Fridays or whatever the case may be.
Now, see, they moved SmackDown to Thursdays, moving it back, which we kind of figured that out. Why would you pay that much money to have a truck plastered with it if you wasn't moving? I don't care what they say. But they're going to be in trouble. Football's on Thursday night.
Yep.
And when football's over with, Big Bang Theory comes back, and Big Bang Theory gains a lot of ratings from the 1835.
There you go.
So they're going to be hurting a lot.
But they feel like they're doing a better spot on Thursday than on Friday. Friday is a bad spot to be on.
Friday's a bad night for anybody because people are going out to eat and going to movies and stuff. You're not here to watch TV. So they better take in for DVR because that's where a lot of the ratings are coming from, DVR viewing. And like somebody said, I can't remember who it is, and I believe them, and I think it's true. Tuesday live, perfect for SmackDown.
Yes.
You can't be taped in this day and time. But still, live. That's another story for another day. We're talking about competition, which Vince doesn't have any.
Right.
Oh, he has competition, but he has no wrestling competition.
Right, and the wrestling competition is a far away number 2. Okay.
Yes.
They almost aren't even in that number 2 spot, but it's just because, hey, that's where they are. Ring of Honor should honestly be number 2 because they sell out almost everywhere they go.
Yes, but their TV is not as big.
Exactly. So, if Ring of Honor, if Global Force, if TNA,
You have to be on a major network.
If they would get so much higher up, then WWE would change things. That's what we've been talking about all this week on episode 25, is talking about how they don't want to change the formula of John Cena. They didn't want to change the formula of the goofy characters of the Goon and Adam Bomb and all these other type of stupid, all these other stupid characters. They didn't want to change them because, hey, it's a formula that worked because the kids love it, and then all of a sudden they changed it. And this may be an error that is about to turn things around. I'll give them that. Because you started with the era of the children with Hulk Hogan becoming the immortal Hulk Hogan. Okay, you started there. Then he left and you had the new generation with goofy characters just like it was, with over the top. It was for the kids still. And then all of a sudden, because things were changing, just like Vince said, I saw it on the network, Vince said, times were changing and so are the WWE.
Yes,
okay,
but
they need to realize that if they're going to call this the reality era, then they need to have reality-based storylines, not a superhero beating everybody.
It's like they're afraid to do anything different. They tease it, oh, pull it back.
Yes.
Like John Cena. We try a little bit, no, pull it back. We can't do that. Because we're going to lose money, we're going to lose ratings, and we're going to lose this, we're going to do that.
Can't have
Look at some of the
because the
Look
merchandise.
at some of the shows they have on USA Network.
Satisfaction is so damn raunchy. And Rush.
I believe I know 3 hours. Maybe they need to go back to 2.
I think 3 hours it has become a little too much.
Drained it. Yes. Go back to 2. Turn your 9 o'clock hour into TV 14.
Right.
I mean, don't go overboard like with the kissing and the males kiss.
You don't have to have the hot lesbian action and all that kind of
stuff.
No,
but you can have a little bit of that.
You can have the
Sprinkle
blood
it in
after
there.
9
Sprinkle a
o'clock.
little blood in there. I mean, it's not weekly, but you
make it special where it's not weekly.
No, do not go weekly. I mean, like I was telling him. I mean, would not the ratings peak? I believe they would peak if they were to promote 2 weeks out a bra and panties match, 6 Divas bra and panty match.
There you go.
Do you not think it would peak?
I say not the way it used to be with the women that couldn't wrestle. I say because you have women that can finally wrestle now on the roster, it could be a totally different idea. It could be the bra and panties, but they could legitimately be wrestling.
Match.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, a little bit of blood. I mean, make it a first. Hey, we're promoting our main event, or when the show starts, we're gonna have our first blood match.
Yep.
I think you can get away with a little blood. Because they do now.
Because even back in the day, they used to have.
You don't have to cut somebody cuts themselves in Crimson Mask. You don't need that.
Remember they used to have Hour 1 with the War Zone, and then Raw's War, whichever one was 1 and 2.
That's right.
Okay, so they could promote, whatever. Raw's War is the first hour, and the second hour is TV 14. They can name it something else, still calling it Raw, whatever. But they could promote it as a whole different entity where they basically promote things weeks in advance for that second hour. So, hey, get the kids in bed if you don't want to watch it. Have them watch the first hour and make the first hour special in order to make the kids happy. Have a good main event for the first hour and then switch it over. Yes. Switch it over to TV 14.
Because they could get away with it.
Yes.
You're after 9 o'clock.
And you're the number one show on the USA Network. They're going to let you do some.
And tell your people gives you money.
Right.
What's happening? Some we don't want that. We don't want your product associated with our.
We'll just be on or they'll say I only want to be promoted on the first hour. And that'd be totally fine.
And if you do 3 hours, if you stay 3 hours, you got 2 hours to do that, and then you may pick up some people who like TNA and
not TNA the wrestling,
not TNA the but little what we like. My product ain't gonna be hurt by a little sex, by little stuff like that.
I mean, there you go. Put the Hardy's commercials on there. That's all it is.
I know, but it may not work. But you don't know until you try it.
Exactly, and they tried it before, and it worked out great. They don't have the rebellious people like they did with Stone Cold and DX and The Rock and all this anymore. But they need to try stuff different. They call it the reality era, and I don't see nothing real about any of it.
No, there's nothing.
There's nothing real about a man being injured and coming back after a week and not even having any bandages on.
I'm hooked because I've been hooked for I don't know how many years.
Right, and I'm the same
And
way.
I'm just like, okay, this is my drug, and I have to see. I don't care how bad it is or how good it is.
Right.
I am there every Monday watching. If I'm able to get up and turn the TV on, I'm there to watch.
Right.
But they need to change. I mean, the rating, like you said, the ratings went down this past
Yep.
week because they're doing nothing new. They're doing nothing fresh. I don't know, because it's Vince. Vince is stuck and say, this is Vince way or highway.
And they'll say it was the daytime Emmys or wherever it was. They had the Emmys going on. They'll blame that.
Why won't you do something where people want to watch your show and not watch the Emmys?
Exactly.
Why do you? I mean, you should not be rewriting the whole show the day of the show.
I mean, think about this. When WWE and WCW were going against each other, I saw one of the ratings they compared to each other.
Yes.
One was a 4.5 and the other was a 4.0. That's a lot of wrestling fans. That's a total of 8.5 wrestling fans, okay?
8.5 million.
Thank you. So if you've got that many people watching wrestling between those two shows back in the day, where did those people go that were down to a 3.0 and they'd rather go watch football or American Ninja Warrior or whatever the case may be, and
Yes.
they don't want to watch your show? That just means there's something different that you need to change.
And I hope they're not dumb enough to put Nitro on Mondays on the network.
Yeah, because they got the first 100 hours, or maybe not be the
Let's
first
go
100, but
200. Let's go Tuesday and on if you're going to do it.
yeah.
Let's don't put it on Monday night because that's just like maybe shooting yourself in the foot.
Because honestly, I mean, the way
lot
wrestling's
of people
going on
would.
TV right now, I have the network. And if I wasn't working on Monday evenings, I would much rather watch Nitro as they put them up on the internet, as they put them up on the
We
network.
will see because it starts next week. Let's just see how much the brain trust is, how smart they are.
I mean, I know they've got to promote the other promotions because it's the network and there's other promotions on there. But they put a lot of faith in ECW and WCW for this network stuff.
They have.
So, and I mean, I love that they're doing the Monday Night War, and it's not just, oh, well, we just took the DVD and we just kind of cut
Yeah,
it up.
it's a lot better, yes.
It's a whole lot better than the DVD was, and it's a lot more in depth and in detail.
Yeah, that's a good, and it flows so well you don't think an hour goes by. But the main thing we was talking about here, they've lost their passion.
Yes, they have. And I don't know if when Vince leaves, it'll change. And Triple
what I'm
H will
saying.
take some risk. I don't know because Triple H and Stephanie may take the same formula.
They may, but if Triple H is truly 100% running NXT, I feel very comfortable because when they have a live show, people say it's better than Raw.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if NXT is run anything like Triple H would run WWE, then WWE will get better.
I have hope.
I believe it will, and I hope it does because they got smaller guys now in NXT, which I'm okay with that.
I never did like everybody has to be a big muscle head. I
No.
didn't like that either.
But even back in the day, now it's like, okay, well, Brodus Clay, you're too big, and Bray Wyatt, you're too big.
We want everybody to
You
be
need
cookie
weight.
cutter. Okay, let's get the cookie cutter right here. Okay, you're
Okay,
fine.
what
You're
happened
fine.
to the days of Bam Bam Bigelow, of King Kong Bundy, of Vader, of all these big, huge guys, of One Man Gang, all these big guys that could do great maneuvers, that could do great matches? You don't have to be tiny.
No.
You don't have to be our muscle-headed or skinny muscle. You don't have to be like that.
Everybody needs to be different,
Yes.
but the same. I know what I'm saying.
You got the same gear-looking stuff. You got the same generic entrance musics and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Make things different.
All right, folks. Well, that's it. I know if you want to, you put it on our Facebook page. What you think? Do you think that he lost his passion? Because we sure think they won the war. They say, hey, we're king of the mountain. We have nothing to do. We'll bring all the suckers in. They'll stay around. I'm a sucker. I'm going to say it myself. I am a sucker. I stick around. I watch the garbage.
There you go.
So, well, I appreciate you watching this week, and we'll catch you down the road for episode 26, next week, right here on YouTube for Top Road Reality.